E-collar conditioning to hear. Your pup is now around 4 months old. Having passively taught the command hear earlier, we'll now begin to introduce a tempered exposure to a highly effective aversive called the e-collar. Now, this is a big step for him or her, but a very important one. By being more reliable about this vital command in the presence of marks and other distractions, your puppy will now be able to go to the field and perform more meaningful marks without side issues diluting the session. A puppy running off with birds or mishandling them can quickly erode what was a useful marking session. Set it up something like this. Here you see that we've used a clothesline pole, which is ideal. It has a large circumference, it's smooth, and it'll allow the rope to slide around it readily, offering the pup little resistance. And we're using 2 ropes, one about 25 feet in length, and that runs directly between the dog and the handler. The other rope is more than 50 feet in length, so it'll extend from the dog back behind him around the pole and to the assistant, whose job it is to assure that the pup doesn't come until he's commanded. This is a great setup, but it isn't the only way to do it. Wrapping the rope around the pole will allow you to do this alone. But another way for 2 people to do it is simply to have the assistant stand behind the pup and restrain him from coming, while the primary trainer works as usual. The procedure really is the same, and the dog will get a good lesson either way. When giving the command hear or come, if that's your preference, give the pup a tug on the rope at the same instant. Try to give the command tug sequence at least 1 or 2 more times while the dog's en route to you, and praise enthusiastically when the pup reaches you. This is critically important. 2 things make praise effective: timing and emotion, genuine emotion. Note, you will not pressure condition your pup right now, going on to the higher end of the pressure scale. Use only the amount of stimulus it takes to see a demonstrable improvement in his level of compliance, and you read that the pup understands how to turn off pressure by complying with the command. The formalization of hear is merely an extension of what's already been done, assuming you've done your passive teaching beforehand. When formalizing hear, focus on this command alone. Don't mix in side issues like sit or stay, for example. Use your rope to its fullest advantage. Using the ropes to control initial responses, begin with the e-collar on the lowest power setting, number 1 on a Tritronics unit. For a majority of dogs, even at this young age, this power level is probably imperceptible, especially starting on a low 1. As you go through the regimen of calling the dog to you with the command hear, use continuous stimulation until the dog reaches you, and praise sincerely for compliance. Make sure that the instant the pup reaches you, begin the praise, turn off the stimulus. Before allowing yourself to view this as some form of cruelty, remember, this is pressure in amounts so small as to be nearly imperceptible. As you move step by step up the scale of power levels with the e-collar, you'll begin to see a dog that doesn't want to leave your side anymore. That's as far as you'll go for your puppy. Usually this begins to happen at rather low levels of intensity. Look at these puppies. They're flying at the end of the session, and that's just what your pup should be doing. Reading him correctly is your job. You're the one who's there with him. Praise him with an enthusiastic good dog when he gets to you. Throw him a fun bumper, and the session's over. Your follow-up sessions will be much less formal. Just let your puppy drag a length of rope, maybe one about 25 or 30 feet long, and take him for a walk, far away from other people if you can. Just let him wander and find things to get interested in. Occasionally, especially when he's engrossed in something else, call him to you in a normal tone of voice. Don't yell, just a normal tone. And don't use any force unless he refuses to come. Continue to follow up on this and keep your standard of obedience maintained from now on. Whenever you and your pup go out for a walk, go for training, or you put him in any circumstance where he'll need to be obedient, he should be wearing an e-collar. He's conditioned now. Don't train him to become collar-wise by having it on him sometimes and not others.